Happy Monday. It's our first edition of our weekly calculation. Right now we're focusing on decimals and for all operations. So I'm going to flip my camera for a second. Okay, so we're going to begin with this part. Remember, this is the part that goes under the bar. So we're taking our 0.7 and we're dividing that by 0.35. We're going to take a look to know that whatever's outside the bar is when we move our decimal. So if I move it 2 places here, I'm going to move it 2 places under the bar. So I'm going to move it over. I'm going to rewrite it because for me, that's going to be a little bit easier. So let's see, I'm going to kind of go closer. So hold on, I'm going to put. Hi. Okay, so if you noticed, I rewrote the problem. So it's 70 divided by 35 now. So in this case, we're taking a look and we're trying to divide 70 into groups of 35. I know this is a bigger number, but I know also offhand, if I look at 30, remember just like what we do in class, if I look at 30 and I do 30 times 2, I'm going to have 60. Well, I know then I have my 5 times 2, I'll have 70. So in this case, I'm going to try 2. I'm going to write 2 on here. And then I'm going to pause it for a second. If you notice, I rewrote it over here just so you can see the same problem. Remember, when I talk about division, I go divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So I divided up the 70 into groups of 35. I have 2 groups, then I do 35 times 2, which is what I'm doing here. When I have my double digit, I'm going to do this number times this one. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry my 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus my 1 is 7. So I'm going to end up with 70. And then I'm going to subtract, and I have 0 left. So my final answer here is 2. Okay, on this one, we're going to multiply. So notice I rewrote it. Remember for multiplication, the order is not important because we can flip-flop. That's called our commutative. And I'm going to try to put the smaller amount of numbers on the bottom because remember, one number here means only one row here. And then I'm just going to pretend like there's no decimal there, and I'm going to multiply. 9 times 3 is 27. Carry my 2. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 2 is 19, 20. I'm going to put my 0 and I carry my 2 because remember I'm still multiplying. 9 times 4 is 36 plus 2 is 38. This is where it gets a little different now. I have 2 decimal places. I shouldn't have gone up so high. So I'm going to move my decimal over 2 places. So my final answer should be 38 and 7 hundredths. Okay? Let me know if you have questions on that. And our last one is talking about decimals. Remember, we need to line up our decimals. So you notice I lined up my decimals. Notice there's a number here, but there's nothing there. So I'm going to put a 0 as a placeholder. And then I'm going to also bring down my decimal. And then I always start on the right. So 8 minus 0 is 8. 6 minus 3 is 3. 7 minus 2 is 5. And 9 minus 3 is 6. We should have 65 and 38 hundredths. And Mrs. Marshall did not do a good job with our doing our estimate today. So I promise on my next one, we will definitely start tomorrow with making our estimates first, just like in class. Have a great day.